Hello everyone. It's almost midnight here, but I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to share with you this tutorial on how to make a blog step by step in under 90 minutes. I'm going to show you how to start a blog without any technical skills or experience, and my goal is to make everything so easy for you to understand and follow. And in about 90 minutes from now, you will have a new blog set up and all the tools and knowledge you need to manage it. I will also be showing you how to make money from your blog, if that is your goal, so don't miss that. All of this will be done on a popular platform called WordPress, which some of the world's biggest companies and bloggers around the world use. The reason they use it is it gives them expert results. However, it's so simple to manage and set up. The WordPress platform I'm going to show you is world class, but it's also free, therefore being one of the world's most popular tools used by famous people and companies all around the world. I'm going to show you how you can take maximum advantage of this exact same platform every step of the way. If you know how to use a keyboard, mouse and a web browser, you have all the skills you need to build a blog you're looking at right here. First, I will show you some of its features and the things I will be showing you how to set up. By the way, all of this will cost you a couple $1,000s if you got a web designer to set one up for you. Firstly, the design. This is very easy to install and I'll show you how to do that. Also, it's a responsive design. That means that it resizes automatically on a mobile device. So I'll show you what I mean. I am mirroring my mobile here onto my PC, and you can see it looks perfect on the mobile as well. If you want to see what it looks like on mobile, just go to emcblogdemo.com. I will show you how to add a logo over here, just like that if you want to. I'll teach you how to integrate social media so that your fans and subscribers of your blog can easily follow you around. I'll show you how to set up your menu area here, including a drop-down menu. And this menu area involves setting up categories on your blog, and it works very similar to how a blog such as the New York Times works. So if I click on business over here, I'm only taken to posts that are in the category for business. Your blog will function in exactly the same way. If somebody clicks on one of your categories, then they will only be taken to posts that are existing within that category. So it will function in the same way that some of the biggest and best blogs around the world function. By the way, for this tutorial, I've chosen a blog about travel. Of course, yours can be about anything you want it to be, and therefore your categories that you set up will be different. So, say for example, your blog was about gaming, your categories might be different consoles or different games. If your blog was about health or fitness, your categories could be exercise, nutrition, weight loss, muscle gain, but you get the point. This is purely an example, but you can make a blog about absolutely anything because anything I show you is completely customizable. I will show you how to implement this lovely image slider you're looking at here. When you click on this, it takes the user to the corresponding posts. I will show you how to place advertisements so you can make money from your blog. You can earn anywhere from a few cents to a few dollars every time a visitor clicks on one of your ads, and I'll take you through that. Of course, I'll show you how to use the content editor, add links, and everything else you see here. It's just like using Microsoft Word, and a custom sidebar, like this one. A Facebook like box, I'll show you how to add that. And also embed any video, any images, or add any text anywhere you want on your blog. It's completely customizable. The purpose of this is to teach you everything you need to know about making a blog. Once I teach you that, you will have the flexibility to make things look and position things in the way you want them to be. Let's get started. A really good question a lot of people have is, what is the difference between a free blog and owning your own blog? A free blog are things such as blogger.com, weebly.com, or Typepad. Essentially on these sites you can start up a blog, but your URL will be mytechblog blogger.blogger.com as an example, which looks very unprofessional to start with. Plus, there are advertising and monetization restrictions. If your blog is doing well, it's actually very difficult to make money off it because there are certain rules in place and you must follow those rules in terms of advertising and monetization, which if you don't follow, your account can get banned and you can lose all the hard work you put into that blog. Plus restricted functionality, which means you cannot use features that would normally be available if you owned your own blog. And all of this is essentially because you do not own the blog when you are using a free blog platform. On the flip side, owning your own blog, the URL looks very professional. For example, mytechblog.com, it's a .com domain. It looks very professional. It can be monetized and you can place any advertisements that you want to place on that. You can make use of extra plugins and functionalities. Plus, you're building an asset which is sellable down the track. Now, if your intention is to make money off your blog, it would be great if you can sell that easily. And as an example, if you go to flipper.com, you'll see plenty of people selling their blogs. Now, this is only possible because it is a website that they own 100%. So if you're serious about blogging, I would not recommend going down the path of a free blog because there are serious problems with that. I would definitely recommend owning your own blog. It's not hard to set up, plus you'll reap the benefits of it down the road. I'll give you a quick overview of what we're going to cover in this tutorial. First, I'll show you how to own your own .com domain. This takes a few minutes and costs around $15 per year. Secondly, I'll show you how to get it hosted. Hosting is essentially where your website's files are stored on the internet. So it's the only other essential item which costs money. But the good thing is this only costs around $6 a month to get a professional hosting service. Third, I'll show you how to install the WordPress platform that a lot of the famous and popular users that I just showed you are using. It's the exact same platform and it's very easy to use. If you've ever used a word editing software like Microsoft Word, you will not have any issues using WordPress. Fourth, we'll install the blog design. And then fifth, I'll take you through adding blog posts, taking advantage of awesome features, customizing your blog to make it unique, and essentially this will teach you everything you need to know about managing your blog. And therefore, if you look in the description, you'll see that most of this tutorial is dedicated to showing you how to use some great features that are available to you when you use the WordPress platform. So let's start with item 1 and 2. These are the only two things that cost money, the rest are free. Like I already said, for the initial investment of about $20 plus around $6 a month, you're getting access to the same WordPress platform that massive companies and bloggers around the world use. So therefore, I think it's an awesome investment for you. Let's lock in our .com domain and web hosting. Go to www.hostgator.com. I've been using this company for about the last 9 years for all my blogging and website needs. They're one of the world's most reliable and cost-effective hosting companies. They have a 24-hour live chat, toll-free number, and also a 45-day money guarantee. If you're not happy for whatever reason, they will refund you within that period. Just in general, they're a really good hosting company. I've been using them for around 9 years, so I will stick to what works. If you want to use another provider, don't hesitate, feel free. but just keep in mind that the rest of this tutorial will be based on my HostGator account, so you may or may not be able to follow along. So click on web hosting. Now we have 3 plans to choose from: Hatchling, Baby, and Business. We can rule out Business because there are features in that plan which we really don't need. So between Hatchling and Baby, they're very similar, with one main difference being that with the Hatchling plan, you can host a single domain, whereas the Baby plan, you can host an unlimited number of domains. So that means with a Baby plan, you can host an unlimited number of blogs, whereas the Hatchling plan, you can just host a single blog. I presume most of you just want to start one blog. In the future, if you want to add additional blogs, you can always upgrade. So it's okay for now to choose the Hatchling plan, and that is also the cheaper option out of all of them. So click on the sign up button. The first step is to choose a domain. If you already own a domain, just go to this tab and enter it in this box. But if you need to register one, enter a domain that you want to own. So as an example, let's try My Travel News. You can choose from .com, .net, or any of these other extensions. I like to stick to .com, that's my personal preference. The system actually searches and checks through to make sure that your domain is available. If it isn't available, you can always choose from another extension, or like I said, my preference is a .com, so you can enter a different domain name. So it can be food and things. Obviously, it'll be related in some way to what your blog is about. And for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to see if a domain called emcblogdemo.com is available. But you get the gist. Select a domain that you want to own. You can always choose a .net or another extension. They operate in exactly the same way as a .com does, but it's just my personal preference to choose a .com. Once you've selected your domain, it gets added to your cart automatically. Scroll down. Ensure the package type you selected is the one you want. In our case, it is Hatchling. Select a billing cycle that you are comfortable with. A lot of you may only be comfortable paying on a month-by-month basis, and that's absolutely fine. I am going to choose 12 months. As you can see, the longer you pay for at one time or upfront, the cheaper it gets per month. So that's absolutely your choice. Choose your username for your account. And a security pin. Now enter your billing information. You can see you can use a credit card or a PayPal account. I'm going to pause and blur my screen while I enter my personal payment details on this screen. Please ensure that the email you use is your personal email address and it's correct, because you will receive a confirmation email after you complete this order. Now, these additional services, domain privacy protection, I don't personally use that myself, so I'll uncheck that. Secure and accelerate your site, I don't use that either. Site backup, daily website backups, I'm going to show you how you can back up your site and it won't cost you anything. Of course, if you want these add-ons, feel free to add them to your cart, but I don't personally use them myself. Then enter a coupon code. Just take note of the current price, it's around $79. Delete the coupon that's in there and use this one instead. MyHostMost, MyHostMost. Then click validate. immediately you'll see that it's changed, the amount is lower. That's because this coupon will always give you a bigger discount than the default 20% that HostGator gives you. Alternatively, if you're one of those people that want to subscribe on a month-by-month basis, use this coupon instead. 1 dirty cent. 1 DIRTYCENT. Then click validate. You'll see that this coupon gives you your first month of hosting for only 1 cent. So it's a really good way to put your feet in the water and ensure you're not spending too much upfront to test everything out and see if it's working out for you. But then again, HostGator do give you a money back guarantee up to 45 days. So if you would like a bulk discount on a 1 or 2 or 3 year plan, then go for it and use the coupon MyHostMost. Once you've done that, go down, check the read and agree to terms and conditions, and check out. After you check out, you'll receive a confirmation email with your new account details and also confirmation of your domain registration. You now own that domain. From time to time, we receive referral credits. Without that, we wouldn't be able to put out these free tutorials for you to view. So we really appreciate your support. After completing your order, you'll receive this confirmation email from HostGator. It will outline your new account details, the domain name which you have registered, and your username and password to log into something called your cPanel. Essentially, we will go into the cPanel and then install the WordPress platform through there. So, click on this link. On the next screen, enter your username and your password. Then click Login. You've successfully logged into your cPanel. Now we will install the famous WordPress platform that we've been talking about. Let's install the awesome WordPress platform that I've been telling you all about. Scroll down and look for the Quick Install button in the Software Services tab. Click that. Click on WordPress. Continue. Your domain should be automatically populated in this field here. Ensure this field is blank. Disable auto upgrades and enter your personal email address in this field. In the admin user field, enter your name. Keep in mind, this will be visible to the visitors on your website. So if you want to stay anonymous, use something like admin. Otherwise, enter your name. And that's all we need for now. Click Install. That's it. The WordPress platform is now installed and ready for you to use. Please note your admin area login. It will be yourwebsite.com/wp-admin. And also note your username and password. But I will show you how to change that password so it's something that you can easily remember. Now, click on this link here. It will take you to your admin area login, but it might take 5 to 10 minutes for it to register. So if your screen comes up blank, wait 5 to 10 minutes and then try that again. Anytime you want to log into WordPress, always come to your domain /wp-admin and you'll be taken to this screen. Enter your username and password that was provided to you. And that's it, you've logged into your WordPress dashboard. You will use this interface to control and manage absolutely everything on your blog. Before you start setting up your blog, I need you to do a couple of simple housekeeping tasks before we can really kick off. The first thing is change your password, because that there is not memorable. So to change your password, go to Users, click All Users, click on your username. Now go down and enter your new password in these fields here. So if I just log out, write down this URL, your domain /wp-admin, your username, and your updated password. Keep that all in a safe place. Next, go into Settings and General. The site title here, change that to the name of your blog. Enter a tagline. Go down, click on Save Changes. Now in this field here, enter www dot and the same in that field there, and save changes. This will prompt you to log in again. Now go to Posts, All Posts. You'll see there is a default post that is created when you install WordPress. That's it there. Let's trash that. Go to Trash and delete permanently. And in Pages, All Pages, do the same thing for the default page that is set up. Now that's done, hover over Plugins. Click on Plugins. And if any of these three plugins are installed, I want you to check them. Jetpack, Mojo Marketplace, and WP Supercache. If they are installed by default, just check them off. Go to the drop down and deactivate. Now click on them again, and I want you to delete them because we won't be using them. Let's install the blog design that we showed you at the beginning of the video. Scroll over to Appearance and click Themes. Click Add New. Here we have two options. You can either upload the design file. To do that, we'll have a link in the description of this video that goes to a page on our emediacoach.com website. I'll bring that across. Look for the required downloads area. Download the blog design file there. So click on that, save it to your desktop, then go back here and then upload. Alternatively, search for a theme called Travelify. Now, regardless of the name, it is not just a travel blog theme. You can use this theme for absolutely anything. It can be a tech blog, it can be a making money blog, anything you need. So don't let the name worry you. Click the Install button. And then click Activate. That's it. This is what your site should currently look like. As you can see, there's not much really happening, but don't worry because I'm going to show you how you can set everything up. But we've got all the groundwork done, we've installed the design, and now we are full steam ahead in setting up your blog. Now I want to let you in on how to define the categories that will be part of your blog. You'll remember that I gave you the example of New York Times. You'll see that their categories are lined up here at the top. For example, business, technology, science, health. They're all main categories, and when you click on one, you're taken to any posts that are within that category. I want to show you how to set up the same thing for your blog. Obviously, if you have a fitness blog, your categories may be exercise, nutrition, supplements. If you had a technology blog, it might be Apple, PC, etc., etc. But you get the point. So depending on what your blog is about, define what your categories are in your blog. So for the purposes of this demo, being a travel blog, I will use categories such as Europe, USA, Australia, etc., etc. So to set your categories, hover over posts, click on categories. Now start entering your categories and add new category. You'll see that it populates in this area here. Once you enter a category, you can also edit that category by changing the name or changing the slug. A slug is basically a URL friendly version. So in this instance, your slug would be yourdomain.com/Europe. Whereas if I did this, your category name would stay the same, but your URL would be yourdomain.com/Europe-ABC. So you get the point. Now I'll just enter the rest of my categories. And that's it. You can come back in, add more categories, or delete any existing ones. The categories also link in with what I'm going to show you next, which is the URL structure options that you have. Now that I've told you about categories, I want to let you know about URL structure. Go into Settings and Permalinks. By default, your URL structure is this one here. So when you create a post, for example, I love New York, your URL for that post will be your blog domain.com/the date on which you made that post /I love New York. However, this is not ideal. So what I like to do is have a URL structure where it's your domain /the category /the name of the post. So I'll show you what that looks like, and I'll put this on the eMedia Coach site as well, so it's easy for you in this field here, enter this custom structure. I'll put this little tag on our website so you can copy and paste. Essentially, this structure, when you make a post called I Love New York, it would be your domain / the category, which I would put in a category of USA because we've already set up our top level categories, / I Love New York. And that goes the same for any other post you make, and regardless of what your blog is about, if it's about technology, if it's about finance, if it's about making money, it doesn't matter. Once you have your categories in place, like I showed you in the last step, and you set this custom URL structure, it will be a much clearer structure to your website, because each one of your posts will have a particular category assigned to it, and that will make up the URL. So I want you to use that custom structure. Alternatively, you can use another one. For example, if you click on this one here, you can use a structure where it is your domain / the year and month the post was made / the category / the name of the post. You can use that if you want. It's up to you. I will stick to that simple but clear and effective structure there. Once you've done that, don't forget to scroll down and click Save Changes. Before you start adding your blog posts, I want to tell you the difference between pages and posts. For your normal blog posts, you will use posts to add new content, but there are times you may choose to use pages. I'll show you the key difference. If I just enter some dummy page information here and publish, you'll see that the URL is your domain / the title of the page. This is ideal, for example, a contact us page. However, for making posts, you're able to assign posts to a category. When I publish that, you'll see that the URL structure is slightly different, and like I mentioned to you a minute ago, it is your domain / the category, which you've selected here, / the name of your post. And that's exactly what it's supposed to be, because we changed our permalink structure to reflect that. So that is the key difference between posts and pages. Pages are great for things such as a contact page or for anything that doesn't belong in a particular category. But for everything else, I would like you to use posts. I'll give you a quick intro into the content editor section. If you have ever used a word editor, it's exactly the same. Click on this toolbar here for more options. I'm going to copy and paste some dummy text from another screen I have. You can enter titles. You can bold. Or add headings. You can italic. Quote. Align center, right, left as per normal. And you can link text to other pages on your website or other websites by clicking that icon there. And by checking this button, it means the link will open in a new tab. To remove a link, click that there. I can also change text color. So as you can see, it's pretty basic. Furthermore, you can add images to your post by clicking the Add Media button. You can upload files from your computer. Once you've uploaded an image, ensure link to is none and insert into post. Also, you can edit that image after it's uploaded, change it to the full size or a different size. You can also link that image to a URL. So it's pretty straightforward. When you're done, click Update. We will use other features such as the feature image a bit later because we will need that when we're setting up our slider on the home page. But essentially, that's how to add posts onto your website. Don't forget that when you enter a title, make sure you select the correct category that you want the post to be in, because that will allow users to find your post easily when your website is set up. You'll see what I mean a little later. Actually, I'll correct myself. We'll actually need that featured image section right now, because if we go to our site, you can see our post exists there, except there is no image associated with that. To set an image, click on Featured Image, choose your desired image from the media library. A media library is the section where all your images or documents are uploaded already. If you haven't already uploaded the images, just upload it from that area there. So I'll select that as my featured image. Okay, that's done. One more thing you can set is a default layout, which includes a sidebar section, and I'll show you how to set that up later, or it can be a full width page. Let's leave it as default for now and click Update. And there you go, there's our first post. It's coming up on the home page. As you can see, your information is stored right there. The name of the user who made the post, the date it was made, and the category in which it belongs. So a user can come along, read more, and there it is. Now that you know how to set up categories on your website and add new posts, I'm going to basically pause this tutorial and add 5 to 6 new posts and then come back. I'm going to add them into the Europe category. And of course, I'm doing this all as a demo to teach you how to use this WordPress platform. So I'll come back in a second when I add a few new posts to my blog. To manage all your posts, go to the All Posts section. You can add new, you can edit a current post, or you can simply delete. So it's pretty straightforward. I will leave all that to you. Let me know by email or in the comments if you have any questions about that, but I think it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so I've added about 6 or 7 posts to my blog. You can see them all here. If we check out what our blog looks like now, you can see it's really starting to take shape. It looks really, really good. So a visitor can come through, they can see the image, they can see the title, a bit of intro text to your post, and then they can read more and get taken to the full post. So we're making really good progress here. As you can probably tell, the navigation items aren't done yet, but we will get to that. Also, the sidebar area here is looking very empty. So I'm going to show you how you can set up the sidebar. Go into your dashboard, hover over Appearance and click on Widgets. Currently you'll see there are a bunch of things in the left sidebar area. We've got a right sidebar. Essentially what each one of these are, they're widgets, and you can add any of them into the left or right sidebar. So what we can do here, we can drag and drop the search, recent posts, comments, archives, and categories. You can delete any ones that you don't want, or you can add some new ones from in here. So you can even drag and drop a text widget and enter some random text in here. And save. Let me show you quickly what that looks like. You'll see we've got recent posts that will automatically pop up every time you make a post. It'll show your most recent ones, and you can configure that. You can put show me the 5 latest posts or the 10. So then when frequent visitors of your blog come to your homepage, they can see the latest posts that you have made. You can delete any one of these that you don't want. Archives, obviously we've made all our posts just now, that's why they're all showing as January 2015. As you make posts over the weeks and months, that will obviously show an archive for Feb, March, April, etc. So that when a user clicks on that, they can see any post you've made during that month. The same goes for categories. When a user clicks on a particular category, they'll be taken to a listing of posts within that category. And therefore, it's really important to select the correct categories for your posts, because say your blog is about technology, somebody wants to know about Apple products, they can click on the Apple category and they'll be taken to every post related to Apple. And of course, you can enter any other text that you need to enter. Now I want to introduce you to one of my favorite plugins, one of the things that I use to add any content I want into the sidebar area. And it comes in the form of a visual editor. And by visual editor, I mean this kind of functionality here, where you can add text, bold, italic, quote, bullet point, link, and you can add images, you can embed video if you need, but all that functionality in your sidebar. To do that, you'll need to install a plugin called Black Studio TinyMCE. So just search Black Studio, and it's that one there, Black Studio TinyMCE. Install and activate. Okay, so if I go back to Appearance and Widgets, what you'll see now is a widget called Visual Editor. So if you drag and drop that into your sidebar, there you'll see you've got all the options that are available to you to add absolutely anything you want into that area of your sidebar. Okay, so let me demo that for you. I can add a title. I can add an image if I wanted to. I won't do that for now. I can add text. And I can do anything with that text. As you've already learned, I can bold, italic, drop, dot point. But one thing I'll show you here is I can embed video. Now, as you know, this visual editor appears when you're in the visual tab, but to enter any code, you need to enter that in the text tab. So if I was to embed a YouTube video, I would need to do that in the text tab. I'll show you an example. I'll just bring over a page I've got open and say I wanted to embed this video. So I'd go to share, embed. I would select a custom size of 285 pixels wide. The height would automatically populate. And then I can copy and paste that embed code in the text tab. Now, if I go back into Visual, you'll see there's a placeholder for the video. However, if I paste this code in the Visual tab, that will not work. Okay, so now I'll click Save and let's check it out. Maybe I'll just bold that. And there we go. I've got a video embedded right into my sidebar and the text that I entered. So as you can see, that's a really powerful tool because I could do anything I want in the sidebar section. Anything you add in a post, you can add in a sidebar. And it's as easy as that. One of my favorite plugins that I use all the time. Now I'm going to show you how you can set up your custom menu area. As you can see right now, there's not much here. And I did promise you that your menu will look similar to something like this, where you would have your categories listed at the top, and then users would be able to click through to that category and see any post that is part of that category. So I'm going to make good of that promise. I'll show you how to add your categories into this top menu area. Go back into your dashboard. Go to Appearance and click on Menus. Give your menu a name. And then click Create Menu. Now set this as a primary menu and save. Okay. First, I want you to delete anything here that you don't need. I'd suggest leaving home in there if it's already there. Otherwise, I'll show you how to add that. So let's start from scratch. Okay. In this tab here called Links, you can add a menu item to any URL. So for example, I can add a menu item that goes to Google. And that's how it works. So I want you to add a menu item for your home page. So that would be your domain. And just call it home. Add that to menu. Now, I want you to go to your categories area and make sure you open that in a new tab on your browser. You'll see the categories listed. Now if I click View on one of the categories, you'll see that this page displays anything that is within that category. I want you to copy that URL go back to your menu settings, enter that URL in here, and your text. Now similarly, I want you to do the same for any other items that you want in your menu, or any other categories that you want in your menu. And if there are any particular pages or posts that you want to link to directly from the menu, add that as well. So let's say, for example, I want to add the contact page. Now let's save that. If you visit your website, you'll see those items have been added to the menu. Now if I click on one of those items, if I'm a visitor, I come to your blog and I click on, say, Europe, I'll be taken to posts that are only within the Europe category. As you can see here, they all belong within the Europe category that we've selected when we set up the post. So there we go. You can add any categories you want here, or any other links using the same process. Now, if you want to rearrange this, just go back in here and drag and drop. When you refresh your site, that will take effect. I'm going to show you another really cool thing, how to add a drop-down menu. Say within the Europe category, I want to actually have a drop-down where when the user hovers over Europe, all the posts appear and they can click on one. Okay, so let me just get the URLs for a few of my posts. Now back in here, to add a drop-down menu, simply put an item so that it is, drag and drop the item so that it is indented below the first level item that you want it to appear under. There you go. So a user can come straight from your homepage on your blog and click straight through to that post there. I'll do the same for a few of the others. And same for this, you can also rearrange the second level items by dragging and dropping in the order in which you want them to appear. There you go. So I hope you now see why this WordPress platform is so powerful and easy to use, and why it's such a popular option for a lot of big names around the world. Earlier I promised that I would show you how to add an image slider around here at the top of your blog. Each one of the sliders will link through to one of your posts. It's pretty easy to do. Go into your dashboard, go to Appearance and Theme Options. Click on the Featured Slider tab. Now in these 4 boxes, all you need to do is enter the post ID of the post and image you want to display. You can do this by going into Posts and All Posts. I'll just open it in a new tab in my browser. And you can see the post IDs in this right-hand column. So all you need to do is enter those numbers in these boxes here, and you can enter a maximum of 4. So let's select 21 and 35. And say 18 and post 17. Then click Save. Okay. There you go. That looks absolutely fantastic. That looks sensational. You've got the image. The image actually comes from the featured image section. That section there. So if you want to change that, you can change the featured image of that particular post. You can click through. So the user can see that. They'll click through and go to your full post straight from your homepage. So it's an awesome area to highlight probably your 4 most important or most attention-grabbing posts. Another thing you can do is set the timer delay, the transition delay, sorry. So currently it's 4 seconds. You can change that to however long you want, and that would change the time between each transition. But I'm really happy with that, so I'll leave it as it is. It's a really cool feature, so go ahead and make the most of it. One thing I actually dislike is on top of the image sliders, there's a lot of text here, and it looks pretty distracting as well as a little bit messy. So what we can do, we can actually control the amount of text that appears here. Going back into the WordPress dashboard, go to the post that you want to edit. So, for example, let's take this one here. Here you'll see a drop-down called Screen Options. Tick the excerpt, and when you do that, just below the content editor, you'll see this section appear. Now in this section, enter the text that you want to appear in that area here. Okay, so let's take this for example. That's all we want to appear. Go up and update. And there you go. It looks a lot cleaner and less messy. You can do that for all of your posts if you want. You'll notice that when you create posts by default, it'll have a right-hand side sidebar, like you see it here. It's really easy to change that to a full width page. Simply go into your posts, select the post you want to change, say that one there. So by default, the default layout is a right-hand side sidebar. Now if we change that to no sidebar, full width, and save, let's see what that looks like. There you go. The post takes the full width of the page and the user will not be distracted by the sidebar. So it's completely up to you whether you want to leave posts as full width or in the default template with the sidebar. That's your decision. Next, I will show you one of my favorite features when I make a blog. It is an image gallery that pops into a lightbox when the images are clicked. To add the image gallery, go into, first add a new post. So let's add a new post. We'll call it, say, the Europe image gallery. We'll assign it to the Europe category. Then click Add Media. Click the Create Gallery link here. You can select files if they're already uploaded to your media library, or you can upload new files to add to your gallery. When that's done, press the Create a New Gallery link here. Link to media file. Select the number of columns you want them to display in. I'll leave it as 3 for now. And insert gallery. Because you're in the text tab, you'll see some code here. But if you go to the visual tab, you'll see your images that are part of the gallery. So let's hit publish and see what that looks like. There it is there. If you click on an image, you'll see it actually pops up and takes you to the image, which isn't ideal because it takes you off your blog. So what we want to do is be able to implement something so that when someone clicks on the image, it will pop up on screen but won't actually bump you off the page. To do that, go into your dashboard, plugins, add a new plugin. Search for one called Simple Lightbox. That's the one there. Install. And when that's done, activate the plugin. That's all you have to do. So now if I go back here and I refresh that, let's see what happens. That is absolutely perfect. So as you can see, a user can come to your gallery, they can scroll through your images, but they are never bumped off your blog. So that's extremely professional. If you had a professional web developer set this up for you, it would cost you quite a bit, I imagine. So feel free to take advantage of this feature. And as always, if you have any questions, ask in the comments. You can always edit the gallery. So this is a default template where it has the sidebar. But say we wanted a full width template. Just go down here, click full width, save. Now that looks a bit too spaced out, so we can go back here, click on the gallery and hit that edit icon. Let's put 4 columns. There you go. It's as simple as that to include an awesome image gallery onto your blog. And the beauty of it is you can include as many galleries as you wish. After you start a blog, I'm sure as time goes you'll get many subscribers and followers, so it's a good idea to have some social media integrated into your website. And the good thing is this design allows you to do that very easily by placing social icons in the top right area just here. So to do that, go back into your WordPress dashboard, go to Appearance and Theme Options. Click on the Social Links tab. Here you can see there are a range of social media icons you can add. All you need to do is enter the URL of your particular page, for example, your Facebook page, your Twitter account, YouTube channel. Any that you leave blank will not appear. So as an example, I'll enter mine in here. When you're done, click Save All Changes. Let's refresh the blog to see what it looks like. As you can see, the social icons are added and it's got a really nice hover effect as well. They will link straight through to your social media URLs that you entered on the previous page. Like so. So go ahead, set up your social media pages and integrate social media onto your blog. While we're on the topic of social media, I will show you how to add a Facebook like box onto your sidebar area here. To do that, just open up a new browser on your site and Google Facebook like box. It should be that one there. Okay, so here you need to enter the URL of your Facebook page. So facebook.com/ whatever your URL is. Ours would be eMedia Coach. You get the point. The width for this particular design, set it at 285. And the height, you can set it to whatever you want. So let's try 300. That's better. I'll stick to 500. Here you can show the header or disable the header and show or disable the border. When you're done configuring that, just click Get Code. Now just hold that page there, go into your WordPress dashboard, hover over Appearance and Widgets. In your right sidebar, I want you to drag and drop the text sidebar widget. Okay, now go back to that code, copy and paste. And also copy and paste the second snippet of code into that box as well. Once that's done, click Save. And refresh your site. There you go. We've added a Facebook like box onto your blog. To rearrange the order in which it appears, just go back to the widget area and drag and drop this to where you want that to appear. And that'll automatically save. And when you refresh your site, it will take effect. There you go. It's a really nice feature. Any subscribers or fans of your blog can come and like your Facebook page, and it's good to gather a social following, because any post or page you make on your site or on your blog, you can actually post that on your social media pages, and it's good to get a gathering because it brings more traffic, and therefore down the track it can help bring more subscribers and therefore add more value to your blog when it comes to making money or selling. So there's a little tip for you there. We can add a contact form so people can get in touch with you easily. Here you can see we've got a contact me page, but there's nothing on that. So let's update that with some contact details and a contact form. When somebody fills in that contact form, you'll receive that straight to your email and you'll be able to reply directly to them. Back in your dashboard, go into plugins, add new plugin, search for one called contact form, and it is that one there by Best Websoft. You can install and then activate the plugin. Once that's done, there'll be a BWS plugins section that appears in your navigation. So click on that. Here you can set up your contact form. We can set it so that it sends you an email directly to your email account. Enter your personal email over here. In the from field, it's probably better to use the user's name. That is the user that fills out the form. And here you can select which fields you want to show. So we've got name, we've got phone number if you want to add that, and subject and message are there by default. You can go through the rest of the options in your own time, but for now that will do. Go down. In this area, you can update the text that appears when somebody submits the form. And let's save changes. Okay, now that we've configured the form, all you need to do is add it on your contact page. To do that, copy this tag here, including the square brackets. Go to the page that you want to put the form on. Edit. Now just paste that in there. And update. And there you go. Say I'm a visitor on your blog. They can submit that. They will receive the confirmation message, and you'll receive that directly into your email inbox because you put your email details in here. Then you can reply directly to them. So that's the power of a contact form. Another thing you can do is add some contact information here if you wish. And it'll appear there. But essentially, anywhere you add this tag, that contact form will appear. So you can even add it in your sidebar if you want, very, very easily. And just as a reminder to do that, you'd go into Appearance, Widgets, select the right sidebar widget, add a text field, and paste that little tag. That's it. Currently, there are a lot of posts on a single page when you scroll down. So as you can see, the posts keep going. And the same for when you go to a category page as well. So I'll show you how to restrict the number of posts that appear. Go into your dashboard and in settings, go to reading. This setting here, blog pages to show at most, change that to how many you want to appear. I'll change that to 4. Now when I refresh, there you go. You'll see that it is restricted every page to 4 posts. And you can change that based on what you want to show. So maybe 4 is too much, maybe 4 is too little. That's up to you, and you can completely manage that through this setting here. Sometimes you might be required to add other authors to be able to post onto your blog. This might be the case down the track when your blog becomes bigger, and you may have multiple authors who all contribute. To do that, it's very simple. Go to Users. We want to add a new user. Give them a username. Enter their email address. And set a password. You can send this password to the new user. It will get sent to their email address. And select a role. This is basically the privileges that the new user will have. The administrator privilege gives them access to everything, and it even allows them to delete your user account, so be very careful with that. We actually have another video on our channel which goes through each of these roles, so make sure you have a look at that and select the right role. To be on the safe side, I would suggest giving them the role of author, which will allow them to add posts but not delete. Then click Add New User. And that's all. They will be able to log into your WordPress dashboard, which is yourdomain.com/wp-admin, the same place you do, with their username and their password, and then contribute to your blog. Now this header area looks pretty good, but for those of you who want to perhaps add a logo to that area, I'll show you how you can do that. I'll let you in on a couple of secrets of mine. If you already have a logo, it's very easy. Just go to Appearance and Theme Options. Click Header Options and upload your logo and save changes. However, if you need to get a logo made, go to a site called fiverr.com, search for logo design. You'll see there are no shortage of people who are offering professional logo design services. So if you want a professional looking logo, feel free to sign up to Fiverr and browse through some of these service providers, look at their ratings and feedback. For example, that there, look at their portfolio and choose somebody to prepare your logo. However, if you want something quick and fast, go to onlinelogomaker.com. Click on Start Online Logo Maker. Let's clear this, delete. You can add a symbol. Let's choose that one there. You can remove certain elements if you can There you go. You can resize, change the color, add some text. And change font. When you are happy with your logo, select white for the background color and download your logo. Save that onto your computer. Now you can go in and upload that logo to your blog. Insert into post, and then this field here will populate with the logo URL. Then save all changes. Actually, you'll need to click header logo only, then save. Let's see what that looks like. Cool, looks pretty good. You can of course go back in, change things around, change the sizing. Maybe I'll just get rid of the text, keep the image, and using trial and error, come up with the logo that you are happy with. Cool, that looks great. Of course, if you want to keep the text, the header text, like it was before, just go back and select that option there. But that's an easy way to get a logo created quickly and update your blog. Currently, the background looks a little bit boring, as you can see. So another one of my favorite tools is to change the background to either a different color or to add a background image. To do that, go into the dashboard, in Appearance, click on Background. You can remove the image that's currently there. I'll show you what that looks like. It's just a plain background. Or you can select your own image to use as a background. So I'm going to go and select one that I have on my computer. And I'll upload this one as well. So then select the image you want to choose as your background image and click Choose Image. Now these settings are very important. Click No Repeat, position in the center, and you can choose between a scroll or a fixed, and I'll show you what difference that makes. Let's just have a look at this image. So as you can see, that looks pretty good. You can always change the image you use. There we go. And see how that image is actually cutting off? That's because the original image is not long enough. But that's fine because I like using a feature called called fixed, which means it does not scroll. I'll show you what I mean. So now as I scroll the site, see how the background does not move? Only the page moves, and I really like that feature. So I'm going to keep that as it is. As you can see, the site now looks fresh and clean and looks much better than it did a few minutes ago because we've changed the background to a completely new background as opposed to the really boring one we just had. So feel free to muck around with that, add your background images, choose either a scroll or a fixed depending on what you prefer, and I guarantee you your site will look better in the space of about 3 minutes. Now I'll show you how you can add things to your blog's footer. To do that, you can go under Appearance and Widgets. You'll see, similar to how you added items in your right sidebar, you can also add items to the footer. So to give you a couple of examples, you can add perhaps your categories of your blog. You've got a few options here. That's what that will look like. Or you can add perhaps your most recent posts. Like that there. If you want the flexibility to add images or even embed a video, you'll remember we installed a plugin called TinyMCE, which allowed us to add this or embed this video here. You can also add any writing or images. If you haven't already done that, go to Plugins, add New, and install a plugin called TinyMCE. Once you've done that, come back in here and you'll see there's a Visual Editor tab available. So we can drag and drop that across. You'll see that gives you the flexibility to add anything you need to. So we can just add some text, perhaps about us. You can add images, you can embed video if you need to. I'm just going to put some sample text in here from another screen I've got. Okay. And I can save that. That's what that looks like. Alternatively, you can even do other things such as adding a search field. So let's try put that in there and we'll delete, say, the categories. So now we've got recent posts, search, and some free text. So that's saved. And you'll see the search comes up there. Another thing you can do is add a calendar. I'll delete the search. There you go. So as you can see, you've got the flexibility to add absolutely anything you want to. If you really wanted to, you can even add 3 visual editor tabs and maybe put an image in one, some text in the other, and the video in the third. So it's completely up to you how you want to arrange your footer. I'm just showing you the options that you have. I'm sure you get the idea. After you have finished making your own blog, It's really important that you take a backup so that in the future, if anything happens, you have a backup copy ready for you to restore. To do that, log into your cPanel, and you'll remember from earlier in this video, your cPanel is part of that email that you receive when you signed up for HostGator. So click on that link in that email, enter your username and password, and then click Login. Scroll down and click on Backup Wizard. Backup. Full backup. Leave this as home directory and click Generate Backup. This will create a backup in the background. You'll see that the backup is in the middle of generating. Refresh this page every 5-10 minutes, and when it's done, you'll be able to download the backup to your computer. So let's wait. Once your backup is done generating, this is what it will look like. You'll be able to click on that link and then download that onto your PC. Keep that handy because you might need that in the future. If ever you come across any issues and you need to restore a backup, get in touch with HostGator through their support and they will let you know what to do. If your blog is constantly changing and updating, it would be a good idea to take regular backups. Now I'd love to teach you about monetization, which is making money off your blog. One of the easiest methods is to use AdSense. AdSense is a Google product. Essentially, you can place ads onto your blog, and every time a visitor clicks on that particular ad, you'll be paid anywhere from a few cents to a few dollars per click. This is possible because advertisers bid in order to make their ads show up on people's websites who are part of this AdSense program. It works on a profit sharing arrangement. So if I just show you here, for displaying ads with AdSense for content, publishers receive 68% of the revenue recognized by Google. So that essentially means for every dollar that Google charges for an ad, you receive 68 cents and they receive 32. As I said, every click can earn you anywhere from a few cents to a few dollars. The reason is certain types of ads attract a higher premium. For example, advertisers pay a higher premium to display ads for things such as insurance, home loans, and other high-priced products. And so those kind of ads cost the advertiser much more and also allow you to earn more. And so although you cannot actually control the types of ads that are shown on your site because they are automatically generated depending on your content, but just know there is a range and a variation in the amount that publishers, which includes you, will receive when a visitor clicks on one of your ads. I'll show you a few examples. So you will have seen a few of these around. Simple text ads, I'm sure you've seen these everywhere. Every time you click on one of these ads, you are earning money for the owner of the blog. And so that can be you essentially. You may have also seen some image ads. These are just a few examples that Google are displaying on their AdSense site. You can test between text ads and image ads, perhaps show text ads for a couple of weeks, then show image ads for another couple of weeks and see what performs better, see what has a higher click-through rate. Because of course, at the end of the day, the more clicks, the more money you earn. It's actually pretty simple how you can implement these ads onto your site. All you need to do is sign up for AdSense. then you'll have the option of selecting a ad format, which is the text or image ads like I showed you, and also the size of the ads. When you select that, you will be given some code that looks like this. All you need to do is copy and paste that onto your site. So I'm going to show you an example of me doing that right now. I will place an ad in the sidebar section. So I'm going to, let's see, I'll probably choose a square image ad, which takes up a square area on my sidebar. Okay, so I've already signed into my AdSense account in another screen, and I've just copied and pasted the code into this notepad. So all I need to do is copy that script, everything from the open script bracket to the close script, all of that. Now go to wherever you want to paste or wherever you want to display that ad on your blog. In my case, I want to display it in the sidebar, so I would need to go into Appearance, Widgets. What I will do is add a text widget, and I'll place it I'll actually place it being the first thing on my sidebar so that it's above the fold, which means it's on the screen when visitors load the page, which generally gives it a higher click-through rate. And all you do is paste that there. Now, it's against AdSense terms of conditions to direct people to click on your ads, so do not write things such as click here or anything like that, but it's absolutely fine to write something like advertisement, then click save. I will add one more ad, so I'll drag in another text tab. I will copy and paste from the script that I've got here from my AdSense account and paste it in there. Alternatively, you can just keep advertisements in the same box, and I can just press enter and put the second script after the first, and that will show up as two image ads because I've chosen image ads. So that's the first image ad and that's the second. I'll click save. You can also display ads in your posts. So to do that, you would go to your post that you want to display an ad, you would go to the text tab and you would enter that code in the post where you want that ad to display. And of course, if you need any help, the AdSense site is a really good resource and it takes you through step by step what you need to do. Okay, so I've saved that. Usually it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for ads to start appearing on your site. And like I said, the content of the ads are automatically generated based on the content of your website. So usually you'll see that the ads actually match in some way what is on your website. So I'll wait 10 to 15 minutes and hopefully my ads have started appearing. Okay, so I've given my site about 10 to 15 minutes and I can see that my ads are starting to appear right here. Now, every time a visitor clicks on one of these ads, I'll earn anywhere from a few cents to a few dollars per click. To be honest, this is one of the most easiest and hands-free ways to make money off a blog. If I wanted to, I could split these ads up. Sometimes I don't like to place ads just in one location, so I would probably put one image banner here and one down the bottom. But it's completely up to you how you want to organize your ads. You can even place them into your posts, within your posts, because as you can see, when somebody clicks through on a post in your blog, they'll be going through your post and then maybe they'll click on an ad in the sidebar, or maybe they'll be reading and click an ad within your post. So you can place ads anywhere you want, whether they be text ads or image ads. And like I showed you, you've got a few choices when it comes to ad size and also the type of ads, whether you want just image ads or text ads. So definitely sign up for an AdSense account, and once you start getting visitors to your blog, it's one of the most easiest and hands-free methods to earning money off the blog. Just be careful not to click on your own ads. This here is another one of my favorites. When I make a blog and it's gained a bit of traction, at times I like to sell it on a site called Flippa. This site is a community of buyers and sellers. If I go here and search for blog, you can see that there are a bunch of websites being sold, not just blogs, but all kinds of websites. And people bid on them just like they bid on eBay.